love when you're pulling me close. Say you think that it's time to go home now. Another year gone, I've gotten so used to Saturday nights, just me and you. So don't leave me alone at the party. Don't leave me alone.
Just waiting for Kris to arrive. Some McDonald's just in case he was hungry. So excited.
How did I get so lucky to love somebody like you? How did I get so lucky that you love me too? Slow morning, cold coffee.
It's been pretty quiet in the house, to say the least. I had been feeling quite lonely ever since Kris officially became a commercial pilot and got a job up in Yellowknife. I wanted to shed some light on that, kind of bring us back to where he all started and how our relationship has been coping with the differences. Ever since Kris was young, he was always saying that he wanted to be a pilot. He actually started off as an aircraft maintenance engineer at a well-known airline here in Calgary. And so he was in that role for a really long time actually. And there was a situation where he was given the opportunity to do his training as a pilot full-time. He was able to really commit himself to, one, get his private pilot license, go on to the next phase, which is obtaining your commercial pilot license. The one thing that I found interesting with him as he continued his training was that there was a lot of different ratings that he had to do in order for you to fly in the mountains or fly at night. There's other ratings that you have to get, and those are just two examples. I swear that he was like studying for multiple tests at a time. And then there's also ground school or like in-flight tests and all that stuff. So he was quite busy, and going through that training really just set him up for meeting new people in the industry and then gaining some knowledge on where it's most beneficial for him to start off his pilot journey. Because at this point, he was an aircraft maintenance engineer and now needs to get more career experience as a pilot. A lot of what he was recommended was to go up north, which now he is a rotational pilot. He does medevac but also charter flights up in Yellowknife, and he's been getting a lot of hours that way. And so that kind of brings us to present day where we're doing long distance. He comes back for, if we're lucky, 4 to 7 days. If we're really lucky, then he'll actually get the 2 weeks off. But since they're really short on pilots right now, sometimes he gets extended a week or two more than he was initially preparing for. And so he'll be gone for maybe 3-4 weeks at a time. And if it's like even worse, then he'll be gone for longer than that. This is not the first time that we've done long distance. I actually took my master's in Toronto, and so he was the one that was at home. The one thing that caught my attention during the wedding speeches was that a lot of people talked about how independent I was. I do agree that I was quite independent at that time. When you're in Toronto, it's almost like New York, where there's always something to do. There's a lot more tech companies in Toronto as well, so I was like spending time at different workshops, like at Google, or there's also another Alphabet subsidiary company called Sidewalk Labs that also hosted a lot of different events as well. Ladies Learning Code was founded in Toronto, and so I was doing a lot of mentoring over there, kind of like my outdoor extracurricular activities outside of my master's education. I was doing the most, and now being at home, now that we have a house, I feel like I'm entering a different phase in our relationship, but also in my life, where I don't feel like my independence is something that I want. It's something that I'm just kind of forced to do. Like some things that I wish I could have had Kris home for are more of like the, I guess, like I hate to say it, but like more of the like the manually duties in the house. I was really glad that he was here for our fence build, because yeah, I mean, like I'm pretty handy, but I'm not like that handy. And so he was there for that. But for like a lot of the deliveries to the house, like for furniture or for any walkarounds, because our builder is really good about, you know, doing like some check-ins like every 6 months, 9 months, and then our yearly. He wasn't there for that, and so it's been a learning piece, because now I have to do like all the adulting stuff, sometimes by myself, and if we're lucky, he'll be home for some of those instances, but I can't count on it. The one thing that I have been trying to do, because I'll be honest, like after the wedding, he had to go to work and we were apart for a long period of time after that. Interesting to go from a very high moment where we had like so much time together during the wedding to going to completely alone after that. I was crying a lot. I was in my head a lot, and I feel like I needed to focus my attention on something other than that situation, because I was just making it bigger than it actually was. But I needed to really shift my perspective on what was happening and try to appreciate like the smaller things, and also just like the growth that I was able to do. Growing by yourself in benefit for your partner later down the road. If we weren't supportive to each other during this, you know, long distance kind of phases, then I wouldn't have been able to do my master's, and he wouldn't be able to build up the hours that he needs in order to transition to, you know, other jobs that require pilot in command hours. And so that's kind of, I guess, the first phase of being married to a pilot. Like this is like very new territory for me. And as we're kind of in this phase, I'm just thinking about like, what can I do to still better myself while he's away? This is kind of, I guess, my checkpoint as being initially married to a pilot, and its pros and cons. So with that, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.